Today I'm sharing with you a simple Dollar Tree wreath that I did. I'm using a wire Dollar Tree form and I used Dollar Tree ribbon, and basically I just wrapped the ribbon around the form. When you first start off, you can glue it. I actually tied it because at the time I couldn't find my glue, and I basically just keep wrapping it around the form all the way around. I will say that this ribbon gave me a fit. It kept curling up on me, so it's not quite like I would have wanted it to be, but you could use any ribbon. You could use Dollar Tree ribbon, and even at one point my ribbon fell on the floor. But I just weaved it in and out, until I completely cover the entire wreath form. This is a simple wreath. It doesn't take much to do. You don't need a lot of materials. I will leave a list below of materials that is needed in order to do the wreath. As you can see here, this is where the ribbon started to curl up on me. But it ended up turning out pretty good considering, and it did not really cost me very much. So after you completely cover the wire form with the ribbon, then you will move on to the next step. I've almost got to the end of my wreath where I have wrapped it around with the ribbon. I actually ended up using 2 rolls of ribbon from the Dollar Tree in order to finish this, but it did not cover the entire wreath form. So that is not going to be an issue because I'm actually going to cover up the part that's open with a big bow, so you won't even notice it. I did have to use some additional ribbon from a different roll that I used throughout my decor for this Christmas. You can see that in some of my other videos that I got from Hobby Lobby, and it's almost like an exact match. I will say that the ribbon from Hobby Lobby is a little bit better quality, and you'll see where I get here where I ended up having to knot the ends to attach it, but you could actually get to this point and just glue it on the back and it will be perfectly fine. And so after I do this, the next step is to work on my bow. I use my bow maker to make my bow, and I use 3 different ribbons. I use the checkered plaid, I use red, and I use black ribbon from Sam's Club, and I just basically layered the bows on top of each other. And then after I'm done with that, then I take a zip tie and I put all of the ribbon together. I have found that zip ties work a little bit better for me than actual wire actual wire, because it holds it in place not only when I'm working on it and it doesn't slip out, which sometimes happens when I use wire. So I actually like the zip tie better, and you will see in the video that I actually cover the zip tie so you don't even see it. And to attach the bow to my wreath, I have one of the Dollar Tree packs that look like garland. I use that a lot this year. I'm really glad I did because I really like how it blends in with the other greenery that I have for Christmas, and so you really don't even notice it. So this is me finishing up the bow. I take an additional piece of the ribbon and roll it, and then I will use that to cover up my bow where you can see the zip tie. So you won't even see the zip tie, because at the end of this I will cut the zip tie off, and the only thing you will see is the additional pattern on the bow. And you don't even see that much because it's kind of small, and so by the time you fluff up your bow, you won't even notice that either. Next, I'm using some greenery and berries that I also got from the Dollar Tree. Like, guys, this entire project, with the exception of the red and black pattern words ribbon, is all from the Dollar Tree. So I took 2 sprigs. Make sure you take your tags off. That's a must. I take 2 sprigs, and I'm going to put those 2 together to create like a swag. And once again, I'm going to use my zip tie. I keep bags of zip tie for my projects because it just works. And I'm going to zip tie the 2 swags together, and then you'll see me attach that to my bow, and from there I will attach the bow with the garland to my wreath. So after I finish putting the garland and the bow together, I'm basically just going to attach the bow and the garland to my wreath form, and basically I'm done. The bow, it has the little garland ties that I mentioned. I might even insert a picture so that you kind of can see what I'm talking about, and then I attach that to the wire that is the wreath form, and just kind of twist it back and forth until it is secure. After I've connected the garland and the bow to my wreath, the next thing I'm going to be doing is just kind of fluffing the bow up to make sure that everything is in place where it needs to be. And then I will cut the ends of my ribbon so that it has a finished look to it. And after that, it's basically done. There's nothing else to do but hang it up on the wall. So now that I've finished fluffing it, I'm going to cut the ends to give them a more uniform look, and then I will be able to put my wreath up. Originally, I was going to add a truck that I had gotten from the truck sign that I had gotten from the Dollar Tree, but because the truck sign had like gold lettering on it, it didn't really go with all of the black and white and the silver and the red, so I ended up not using it. But if you wanted to put a sign at the bottom of this wreath, you could easily do that. All you have to do is get some hot glue and glue it to the wreath, and that would finish off your wreath. I really hope that you like this video. I have enjoyed decorating my house for Christmas this year. I really enjoyed the theme that I chose. I really enjoyed doing even the projects. It kind of kept me busy since I'm basically stuck at home over the holidays. This is the finished wreath. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't, please subscribe. And until I see you the next time, have a blessed day.